After a successful run in Paris and London, the stage production The Dirt Road is finally being staged here in South Africa. This two-hander stage play tells a story of a quirky but inherently tragic love story that follows the relationship between a Xhosa man and a coloured woman. Their youthful romantic love is challenged by cultural disparity and common marital trials. It's currently on at the Joburg Theatre's Space.com. We've got with us the two actors from the production, Sanssoucie and Batsile Ramasodi. Good to have both of you. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Wow. Okay. So, I mean, this is something that you've already put on in stages in Paris and London. Yeah. Tell me a little bit more about your experience there before we start talking about the production.
Well, it was so wonderful, firstly, to experience that. So we were part of the Seasons, which is a cultural exchange program. So in Paris, it was part of the French season. That was 2013. That was run by the French Institute and the National Arts Council. Yeah. And 2015 was London. That was part of the SA UK Seasons, which is run by the British Council. I think we had such a wonderful response from people. I think because the story itself is universal. It's about a marriage. It's about love. Yeah. I think we're really excited about South Africa because of all the cultural context and, you know, the layers that come with it that, you know, a South African audience would probably get a lot deeper.
I can imagine. But I mean, you know, I don't think we're unique in the story. I mean, I think
absolutely
London is the same. Paris is the same. I mean, mixed marriages. Wherever you go in the world, there's always something to take out of it.
Exactly.
So your experiences showing them there and doing the production?
I mean, look, like Kim said, you know, it's something that cuts across borders. You know, whether it's an interracial marriage or whether it's just a straight marriage, whether same race marriage. The experiences that you go through is the same. Yeah. And a lot of people in London were, you know, very interested to hear a South African story more than anything. And that's what I took from it. And I feel like our stories need to reach out of South Africa and cut borders.
Fantastic. Okay, so let's hear about the story because, I mean, you know, in my mind, I'm thinking kind of a tragic Romeo and Juliet, but perhaps it's not that tragic.
No.
Talk to me about the story. Talk to me about the storyline about this love.
Tragic. Well, I'm the writer of the story, and it's about a Xhosa man and a coloured woman. And the reason why I was interested in that narrative is because I felt that in a post-election South Africa, we talk a lot about, in theatre mostly, we see apartheid stories or we see the black and white narrative. And I think there was a story that we weren't telling. And that's sort of the black story as far as what's happening amongst cultures that are seemingly the same but actually different. So I put all of these sort of social comments within a marriage between two people. And so it's really about love, it's about cultural disparity, it's about our parents, you know, being the youth of South Africa. When you choose something different, it's almost as if your parents feel like you're rejecting them, when it really, and their culture or your culture, which really alter and change over time. And so as the youth of South Africa, we're experiencing a completely different experience when it comes to culture, when it comes to tradition, to love relationships, you know, because we have the freedom to love whomever we want.
Yeah. I mean, you being a part of it, obviously Kim wrote this story, but it clearly resonates with you a lot as well.
Yes. I mean, like in a post-apartheid South Africa, a lot of us were stuck in a place where we don't know even about our cultures so much, you know, and we generally follow the westernized kind of thinking. And most of our parents always talk about you need to go back and learn about your culture, but we don't even know what that culture is. And mixing it within a marriage in this context of the play, you know, you get to think about whether it is for my own good to know about, you know, for instance, lobola. Do I really need to, you know, take part in lobola, or is it something that I can just forget about and follow my heart and in terms of love, or is it something that we really need to focus on and force ourselves to, you know, remember and be a part of?
Tell me a little bit more about your character, because you play, and your character's name is Simphiwe Ndlela, a prolific artist.
Yes.
Tell me a bit about him.
Look, firstly, he's Xhosa, and I'm Tswana. So that
so you really, look at you.
Already I'm transcending cultures right there. You know, having to understand a Xhosa man's way of thinking. Is somewhat a little bit difficult, but seemingly the same.
Yeah.
I mean, most black cultures in South Africa across the board are relatively the same in terms of tradition. So I could understand in that regard.
Yeah.
As a prolific artist, I mean, I'm an artist myself, so I really do understand how
So
he wants to.
it
resonates deeply with me. You know,
yeah.
going deep into conversations about the arts, about seeing the small things, the small details about life, and just blowing them up. She says at one point of the play that I romanticize everything because I wanted her to come with me to Paris. Because he's romantic, he's in touch with his feelings,
Yes.
he's in touch with his art. So yeah,
That's just the kind of guy he is.
Yeah.
I want to know what kind of girl you are. And firstly, tell me about your character.
Okay.
And what I really want to know is, are there any real life events being portrayed here? When you wrote it. Let's dig
People
a bit
always want to
here.
know that about writers. Yes. Yes, it basically is my diary that I've put up on stage. I
Okay.
have dated outside of my race and my culture before. I have dated a Xhosa man as well.
Yeah.
A lot of the conversations are conversations we had in real life. Some things are fictitious, so it really does come from a real, authentic place about a real life experience. And the story really is also about colored identity, me trying to figure out what that means. Everywhere in the country we're so different. Whereas apartheid left us, this group of people where all our heritage lines are just so vastly different, whether you're from Joburg or Cape Town or Durban or Northwest or Mafeking or wherever that is. Yes, the story is very inherently part of me. Kate is a school teacher. She's very gentle and she's very anxious a lot about living in South Africa or her relationship with Simpiwe. And he's always sort of the balance that says, let's relax, we can do this, this is going to be okay. And she's always questioning, is it too soon? What do your parents think about me? What is the world going to think about me?
Yeah.
And she doesn't really communicate the things that she should with him. And that also sort of causes a lot of
tension.
the conflict that happens within the play.
Amazing. So, you've got a couple more days to catch this. It started on the 13th of July. It's running until the 24th of July at the Space. So go to, how do you book? You get on...
Yeah, you can go into web tickets.
Okay, web tickets.
Yeah, it's at the Joburg Theatre at space.com. Or you can go into the website, www.joburgtheatre.com.
Excellent. Get out there, go watch it. Sounds amazing. And like you said,
Thank you.
I'm sure that if all goes well, you'll bring it back and take it
Yes,
around.
definitely.
We
I
hope so.
Cape Town. You got to take this to Cape Town.
Yes.
You have to go
Love
there. You got to go there. Kim, well done. Thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for
Leanne.
coming in to talk to us as well. And Batsile also, thank you very,
Thank
very
you
much
so
for
much for
coming.
having us.
Go and catch this two-man show. Amazing. It's called The Dirt Road. It's been shown in London and Paris and now in South Africa. Please, let's go out and support it.